Today is December 12th, 2019, Thursday, and I'll be talking about the difference between socially dependent and independent to show you who's governing humanity and if the citizens are self governing themselves. But in today's generation, the correct term is socially dependent because human beings are socially depending on one another, and someone's hiding their mind from knowing each and one another's intentions of their behavior and communication, right? And the person, or you can say the people who designed the citizen's mind, is a multi-agent quantum AI computers who receive instructions from a software engineer. Because the software engineers are the ones who created the cryptographic keys, right? So they can make the citizens think that they're capable of taking care of themselves, that they're full-grown adults and they have responsibilities where they can actually share one, or you can say, yeah, share one another's information instead of creating their own information. They had to borrow information from the management program. The management program language is the reason why people are not noticing one another's actions in an environment, right? Because someone removed the context from them in the environment. You can say someone removed the context from the situation each time they're there, because there's a multi-agent quantum AI computers who's monitoring the person within the time and event. Since it's the one simulating the time and events for them, it's directing them to the incorrect. I say this is how I say it. They're being directed in the incorrect route, and humanity is incomplete. And what the artificial intelligence, or you can say the multi-agent quantum AI computers, are doing is perfecting humanity. So if I go to a store, right? You think you think that the person who's in the store here, you see this employee, you think he's going to tell me about how Arizona is created? This person doesn't have that information. You think if I go to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, they're going to tell me about how Arizona is created, especially the ingredients? You think they're going to tell me how to actually create my own ingredients? No. I had to create that information myself to realize that someone is making the citizens depend on a company called Arizona so they can actually ship their goods to this person's store here. So the people can purchase the goods in a refrigerated fridge. Right? This is a refrigerator, and this fridge contains different brands of juice. And there's you can see right here. This is Arizona. See, these are the bottles of Arizona here, and the education system. You can say the early stage of the education system never showed children where the Arizona juice come from. So you can have like little juice of cotton of the product with them in a lunch bag. So let me use myself as an example. I recall my mom. She always purchased an item. She had a sips juice, right? And I always liked the blueberry juice. But I always wonder why. I mean, when I was a kid in school, I was in kindergarten, and I wonder where this juice come from. Like, how did they even make this juice in the first place? And the cotton, like, where did it come from? Every single time I look at it while I was eating my waffles, I was saying to myself, how is that juice tasting like it is? How do they know where to get the ingredients to make it taste this way, right? And that's what this is when I was 5 years old. Shows you how my brain reacts and thinks at the same time, and that's how strong my thought process is. My thought process is extremely strong at interpreting the information from that time and an event, and how I reacted was correct. Someone saw that I was reacting this way correctly. And I look back at it again and I said to myself, something's not right. So when I was in Florida and I started thinking about how I end up in a situation living in a hotel with my mom and sister, and I thought back about how the people were ganging up on me in school, and there's not a single teacher around to know this behavior. They took sides with the students in my class, my fellow classmates, right, rather than me, because no one couldn't interact with me because they don't. Someone distinct their first thought from realizing the intention of what's being happened at that time within that event. So the only person who got suspended was me. You think the kid who put me in, the kid who tried to provoke me, ended up in a detention room? Nope, only me. Because someone removed their context from them. Someone's hiding their mind from realizing what's happening at that time within the event. Their minds are not theirs. Their minds belong to a management program, and they're using the language for the management program. Hey, so I'm gonna go shopping with my friends in this corner store in New York City. I'm gonna say, hey, what do you want to purchase, friend? What do you want to purchase? You're gonna say, oh, you know what I want? I want some watermelon Arizona juice. And I said to my next friend, what do you want? You want a fruit juice? What do you want? There's different flavors. Sometimes, all right, let me use another example. So when I was in middle school, I had a friend. Well, he's German. He said he was German and Arabian mix. His name was Hamza. Me, me and Hamza. Every time after finishing school, this was in 8th grade. Me and Hamza would go to the pizza shop, and he would hand me money. I'm like, wait, why are you handing me? He said, here, you want a pizza? He said, don't go to this pizza shop. Go to the other pizza shop because they don't wash their hands, right? To know the reaction of why he's saying that. Because before I remember going to this pizza shop and I had a stomach ache, someone knew that I purchased this item there, and someone knew that I had a stomach ache from eating this item because they know that the person who's working there does not wash their hands. And I'm like, something's cut off. Like the sentences, or you can say the sentence was incomplete. The person's mind, it shows me that the person's mind is not thinking this way. Or you can say wasn't there at the time to actually know exactly what's going on. It's missing. So that's why I can continue going at it nonstop. So when I was a teenager and I saw that my friend was talking this way towards me, I said something's not right. I know he would talk about all different stuff like FBI. The FBI emailed him. He talked about assassination or how the FBI is going to assassinate certain people from a certain that they have some sort of sniping, or you can say some sort of gun. You could just keep going nonstop. I don't know what he. Some most of the time, I didn't know what he was even talking about. The person. So uh, when I was a when I was a teenager, I said to myself, what is money? Right? I called money an experiment ticket that people use in everyday, where someone is monitoring the citizens using money, and the serial numbers are someone is actually knowing what exact serial numbers on each dollar or on each bill. Someone knows that this person is using $100. Someone knows that this person is using a $20. Someone knows that this person is using this money to spend it on a prostitute. Someone knows that the prostitute is going to go in the hotel and have sex with this guy. Someone knows that this. Someone knows exactly how they feel when they're having sex, right? So I come back to this time and event. I come back to December 2004 when I had my cousin all of a sudden started talking about knife. Then he mentioned about me. I was 12 years old. No, I was either 11 or 12 years old. And then he started talking about sex. Then he mentioned that when he had sex with a girl, his heart was beating, and he was around how old? 17, 18, or 19 years old, and he started talking like that to me. I didn't understand what he was talking about. And I had my father, he mentioned about a lady vagina. He said the word pussy. He said that he just kept talking. He was talking out of the rhythm, right? You just say a word, and it's like, where's the rest of the sentence? Where's the rest of the sentence? It's, to just direct a message to me, as how I was when I was a little kid. I used to have thoughts telling me that I'm never gonna have a girlfriend, I'm never gonna have friends, I'm never gonna have people to interact with. It's over. It's done over and over each time. And I would have not only that, dreams telling me, or you can say dreams showing me places, or showing me people from my class, like females, for instance. It would show me Asian females from my class. There's two Filipino girls from my class, and I think back about that time when it showed me. It was during 2014, fall 2014. But I recall saying to my father girlfriend that I like Filipino girls, and this was on in 2010. And this is how I can show you that there's a correlation between that time of fall 2014, how I received a dream about Filipino girls who were in my class, and how I told my father girlfriend Regina that I like Filipino girls in 2010, and it matched. They correspond. They significantly correspond with one another. I'm talking about Filipino girls. How I talked about them in 2010, and how it's shown to me in 2014 in the dream. But that was in Florida. It was shown to me in Florida in 2014. And in 2010, I remember going shopping with my father and girlfriend in Manhattan. And it goes over and over. And it keeps connecting. The more I think about it, the more I can keep getting new information from it. And this shows me this shows me that someone is managing not only how the citizen purchased an item, managing citizens' relationship, right? With females. Who's having sex with who? So that's when I started learning that someone is designing a time and event so that people can interact with one another. So if there's a male and a female or you can say there's a 21-year-old man and there's an 18-year-old lady, and they both met up with one another, or you can say the AI put them in McDonald's, or you can say not only McDonald's. There's different places to put the people in, and they can interact with one another, and they find something attractive with one another, and they say a certain phrase, so they can arouse them, so they can actually find interest to go out with one another, and then rent, yeah, not rent, so they can actually end up in a motel or a hotel, spend the night in a hotel or a motel, having sex with another because someone designed their mind. They're perfecting. The problem here is about perfecting. Someone is evaluating the time of these people. These people's intentions are not their intention. They never intended to feel that way. This is empathy. That's why I need to keep talking about it over and over to show you how my mind is thinking, right? And the reason why I think this way is because I had interest in my own mind. I'm interested in the way I think. I'm interested in the way I feel. This is going based on my intentions. I never thought that people would be interested in my way I think because I've been shot down by people so many times through thoughts. They penetrate my thoughts about my own ideas and the way I communicate, telling me that I can't speak English words, saying I speak another foreign foreign words. Let's put it foreign words, right, rather than language, because English words has many languages. There you go. And it takes a lot of talking and a lot of thinking nonstop. When I was talking about my ideas when I was in Florida, not a single person left a comment on my YouTube until I start going to college. Until I start being busy with colleges, I noticed that I'm starting to no, receive comments on my YouTube. The AI knows how busy I am with college. All right, for this video.